Hi, this is Sean, and this channel's called Wolf Dog Moon. And on today's episode of Tea and Manga, we're gonna review the epic Goblin Slayer. If you like this kind of content, smash that like button. Subscribe to our channel for more, ring the bell for notifications, comment down below, and share with your friends. Alright, let's get into this one. Now, right off the bat, I would tell you with this one, this is a no-nonsense adventure story, akin to something like Berserk. It's probably, I would call this Berserk Light, but it's still right in the vein of Berserk. So if you've seen our previous review of the epic Berserk, then this one would probably be right up your alley too. Now, with this right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that you get some real disturbing scenes in this one. It has a warning for a reason. And so just keep that in mind. You have some violence and stuff in here. And this one, the premise of it is you have this character. He's called Goblin Slayer, and he's also known as Orkbold. And basically he has this just intense hatred for the goblins, and he's all about eradicating goblins because they're evil, they're nasty, they're wicked, they're ghoulish, and they will stop at nothing to burn down villages, steal the women and do horrible things to them, and torture people. And they're just devilish, evil, demonic creatures. And so this guy takes it upon himself to go on these quests to eradicate the goblins. And so in here you have this guild that basically they have the different adventurers ranked. And so this Goblin Slayer has a certain rank that allows him to take any kind of quest that he wants from the guild, but the only quests that he will take are quests to eradicate goblins, and he'll take any quest that involves taking down goblins. So right away, if you like Dungeons and Dragons style adventure, and you like when you have to go into a dungeon and create a party of like-minded adventurers to go and rescue some people or to destroy some evil, wicked goblins, then this would be right up your alley too. And so you have a little bit right away, you see on the cover, you have this dichotomy where you have this edgy, brutal looking warrior in the Goblin Slayer, and then you have this cutesy anime style girl. And so she's meant to be she's a priestess, like a cleric that you would see out of something like Dungeons and Dragons style adventure. And so right here you have who this is by. It says the art's by Kuseki Kurose and original story by Kumo Kagayu, and then character design Noboru Kanatuki. So this is definitely a collaborative kind of venture. It has a kind of a mission statement, I feel like, that this Goblin Slayer manga is trying to achieve, and that agenda sort of mission statement is to create this edgy character kind of like Guts from Berserk, but almost a reaction and response to kind of the watering down of a lot of this kind of genre, whether it's the comic book characters or different genres, like maybe even something such as Dungeons and Dragons, where you have this kind of political correct element that has come into it, and you have this little bit of virtue signaling. And so they try to make everything watered down and more palatable for everyone, whereas this kind of medieval style fantasy is meant for people who are want to go on these adventures with these heroic figures on the hero's journey, and they have to do they have to take care of business, and there's going to be violence and stuff because they're going to be fighting evil forces and just wicked demonic beings and stuff. So you kind of can't play it both ways. And so this has a mission statement to kind of go over the top and make sure you know that this is no nonsense and it's not being or trying to be politically correct. So it's cool in that way. And so right away at the beginning of this, there is a kind of an adventuring party that includes this character right here, and I'm not going to spoil it for you so you know, but she's like a first level adventurer, so she's a rookie adventurer, and she wants to go into these different adventures and be able to do heroic things for her god. So that's what her role is. And so she meets up with these other characters who are also beginners, and they have grand ideas about what adventuring is all about, and they have a lot of preconceived notions what it means to be an adventurer, and they find out right away that it's a dirty, dark, hard business, and it's not for the faint of heart, and it's dangerous. You could lose your life doing it, whereas they kind of act like it's just going to be like a video game or something. And so they find out differently, and so you end up with these two characters paired together in that dichotomy where you have the hardened warrior, this goblin slayer. He literally keeps track of how many goblins he's killed, for example. This guy's no nonsense, and he knows all their dirty tricks, and it's not for the faint of heart. So right away he meets this character, this girl right here, and he has to kind of school her up to this reality that this is a dirty business, and it's not for time for silliness. It's not time to fool around, and you have to be careful. It's dangerous. And so this is an awesome manga epic. And so let's jump in here. And I like the drawing style, and so I just have to be a little bit careful because, again, it does have a warning on it, so it has adult content to it. And so if you can handle stuff like, Conan the Barbarian and, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, then this would be right up your alley as well. So right away you have the goblins. They're nasty. This starts out in color and stuff, and then it turns to black and white. So I don't want to show too much of this because I think you can get the idea right away just by these images and stuff. Show right away they thrust you into the action where this goblin slayer character meets up with this priestess, and then they take you to this adventurers guild, which I explained before, where they do a flashback to show you how she ended up in this dark, dank tunnel where the goblins are, and how she meets up with this goblin slayer character. So it's got a cutesiness to it, and also it's kind of like an isekai work in a way, but it's not an isekai. So where those type of novels, it's usually somebody from our present day, like a shut-in, like an otaku character who gets thrust into this other kind of world that sort of works out like a video game. This is not trying to do that. This is trying to be more like Berserk, where it's an actual world where this character exists in that world. Like, again, I would say Conan or something like that. Conan the Barbarian. So I'm going to give you my final thoughts with this. This is one of my favorite series, despite the fact that it's intense and stuff. It's that way for a reason, and you really get behind this Goblin Slayer character, and you can get behind her and what she's all about, as well as plus a whole host of other awesome and unique characters that they meet along the way and join their party. So they end up kind of forming this misfit party eventually, and I don't want to spoil it, but you get to go on this awesome journey and quest, and it's very much like, and harkens back to something like Dungeons and Dragons style adventure, where you're going into a dungeon and you're trying to go on this quest that's going to be super dangerous and stuff, and people could get killed. and there's a definite cost to what they're doing, and so they mean business while they're doing it. And so you get to meet up with these awesome characters and stuff. This is definitely one of my favorite series to come out in the last 10 years. It's relatively new, and they even have anime that goes with this that's pretty good as well. So definitely encourage you to check this out. It's in the styling and vein of something like Berserk, so if you like that kind of stuff, then you will like Goblin Slayer. So let us know what you think down below, if you've read this series, and if this is one of your favorites as well, or if this video has helped you in any way. In this one, you get to go on the hero's journey, and you get to follow this Goblin Slayer. He means business, he's no nonsense, and he doesn't care what other people think. He's a trailblazer in that way. He's gonna go and do what he has made for himself as a mission, and no one's gonna get in his way. And he doesn't care, for example, what the other adventurers think in the Adventurers Guild. They, have a certain perspective on what they think in terms of how they have ranked up in the guild. So you'll get to see all that cool kind of stuff. So definitely I recommend this one. This is definitely one of my favorites. And so we hope that this video finds you having an amazing day, and we hope that you have a blessed day and that your spirits remain high. Signing out.